Hello and a warm welcome back to my channel, guys. Today we are talking all things pre-loved fashion. I really wanted to take the time to share with you my latest pastime that I get so much joy from. I truly encourage you to try it for yourself, and hopefully along this video I can share some tips and tricks that I've been using to help me find some real pieces to treasure. So as always, sit back, grab a drink, relax, subscribe if you can, and let's get into this video. Enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Good morning. I'm so excited to do this video with you, and I'm going to do it in a bit of a different way because I've had a lot of sit down chatty videos, and I thought let's do one where it's still like a style topic. There's still going to be some value, but we're going to do it more like vlog style, and we'll see what we think of that. And you can let me know if you prefer the sit down chatty ones or more of the vloggy ones. But today we're gonna do the idea that I flitted in my previous video all about how to look expensive, and that was pre-loved shopping, so secondhand shopping. And I'm kind of gonna talk to you about my tips, because I feel like I struggled with this at the start, but now I feel quite confident in my ability, I think. And all the different sites like eBay, Vestaire, Vinted. I also do love a good old charity shop, boot sale, antique fair. I love all of that. But I just thought today, let's talk about tips and tricks, and also I'm going to show you some of the pieces that I've been picking up, just to give you guys a little bit of inspiration. But I do have a little coffee with me for this, and I did a huge, and I mean huge, clear out of stuff the other day. I've got 2 whole bags of things that I need to sell on Vinted as well, because another good tip that I've been doing is having these like clear outs, putting some to charity, and then putting some either on my Vinted, and then with what I make from that, it either goes towards work equipment like cameras, etc., or it goes towards buying other pre-loved pieces, because it's my new thing. I just absolutely love it. I think it gets addicting. So warning, user discretion before you go into this journey. It does get addicting, because when you find a really good piece, you just feel like you've had the cheat code to life. Also, which I've never done before, I've actually, because I never thought I really needed it, but now that I've been secondhand shopping and putting a lot into like more thicker fabrics, my gosh, jumpers alone, they just take up so much space. I've actually popped away yesterday. I put all of my summer clothes into these like Ziploc bags, which I'll also show you. I picked them up from Amazon and they're amazing. So I'll show you a little tip for that, and if you're interested, I will link the Amazon bags too. So this video is kind of, yeah, going to be a little bit about tips and tricks when it comes to pre-loved secondhand shopping, wardrobe organization, all of that good stuff, but it's going to be much more in like a vloggy format, so a little bit more informal. But anyway, I'll stop blabbing on with the intro. I want to say thank you to anyone who's new here and has subscribed. Welcome to the channel, and if you're still to subscribe or you're stumbling across, my name's Chloe, and I am so excited that you're here for this video. So let's get into the wardrobe. Let me show you some of my new pieces, do the tips, and let's go. I'm excited for this video. So this is the very unglamorous summer storage that I've been working on. Now, this is how it arrives. I've still got 2 left over. I actually think for a pack of 4, it was like $19.99. It was actually really good value, and this is the first time I've used it before, because usually I actually buy like the big hard plastic boxes, but the storage issue is a real thing, and I use them for our Christmas decorations because obviously I don't want to get crushed. And I found these soft pack ones, and they actually had really good reviews on Amazon, so I just thought I'd try it, and I'm really impressed. Like, they're very deep, and we've still got 2 more left over, and obviously I have a little bit more clothes than the average person, and they're really deep. So that's how deep they are, and they're probably like 2 foot across, and they're bacteria protected, mold protected, everything like that. So your clothes are actually like really well looked after in here. And you can see I've just got loads of linen, kind of swimmer pieces, silky dresses, and there's just no way that I'm going to be needing to wear any of these anytime soon. Like, I've got all my floral dresses. You just know you're not going on any warm holidays, so I've kept them all in here. And even if I was going on a warm holiday. These are so easy to reopen, and you've also got these handles here, so I can just pull it out basically. So I've taken it through here just so that we can go through the pieces that I bought on Vinted in a little bit more detail, why I bought it, etc. And then go through the tips, so how I would get started as a beginner. And I think a lot of these rules apply whether or not you're selling or buying on Vinted, Vestaire, eBay, or even in real life in like car boot sales and everything. I feel like these like tips and tricks are gonna help you. So this is my reel of goodies. I don't think I even realized how much I've been purchasing. This is what I'm saying. Things can get out of control really quickly, and I definitely have a favorite category to shop, as you can see here, and a color palette as well. So let me go into each of the pieces, and maybe with each piece I'll do like a little tip as well, so it's all like interactive. First tip that I will share with you, which is all about being patient. Try your best to not indulge in that spontaneous urge and impulse to just be like, this is as good as it's gonna get, this is as close as we're gonna get to it. My first tip would be patient for the things that you are looking for, because this blazer, believe it or not, it's a menswear blazer, but it is from Burberry. I know, let that sink in. I do not have a single piece of Burberry clothing. I've always looked for their trench coats, and that is still something that I've got my eye on, especially when I go to like Vestaire Village and everything like that, because they are an outlet mall type thing. But guys, a Burberry literal blazer, it is the dream. And I've had my eye on something like this for a long time. I wanted a British design brand, and I really wanted obviously a heritage blazer like this, and the fact that this was Burberry made it even better. And I believe, I mean, it came with another receipt as well, which is another tip I'm going to give a bit further on. So the gentleman that owned this, I think he paid £420 for it, and I managed to get it, guys, for like £42. You can just about see the Burberry emblem there, and that is all over the lining of the blazer, which is just makes it so special. It also has the Burberry label on the inside pocket as well, just in case there was any doubt. Everything is here. I think that's also really important to have, that when you're buying a more premium piece, ask the seller if they could show any labels inside the jacket, and if possible proof of purchase, because a lot of the time if you're buying, I know previously I had bought a pair of Chanel pumps, if you ask, a lot of the time they still have the original packaging, and they can still often have the receipt. And I think all of this gives you like ease of mind. I think in a lot of places like Vestaire and Vinted, they also do a authentication process, where with a charge they can check to tell you if it's something that's genuine, if you were really kind of in doubt. So it is like a green herringbone check with this glorious red thread through it, and the buttons are just to die for. I'm trying to bring it in, there we go. It's like a little leather weave brown chocolate button, and obviously you've got the three of them, the double flap pocket. It's in exquisite condition. You've also got the suede check, well, the suede elbow patches, which are so beautiful. It's real suede as well. This next one might be a little bit of a risk-taking tip, but I adore this jacket so much, and you guys will have seen me style this up so many times, especially over on my Instagram. But it is a chocolate, like a deep rich chocolate brown suede jacket, very 90s with the collar and the zip. It is super minimal, very plain, and I can't remember how much I got for this. It was super cheap again. It might be like £6. I can't remember. I'm sure I shared it in another video. It was between £6 and £11. Really good condition, apart from a few little marks around the collar, which is to be expected. I think that's another thing, another tip I would like to share, is that obviously you are buying secondhand, you are buying pre-loved, and with that the items come with a little bit of a story, so not everything will be mint condition. And I think that's just something to be aware of, is to just set your expectations to kind of switching your brain from only wanting brand new pieces straight from the packet, which we are so used to when it comes to shopping, to understanding to love the pieces that have a little bit of character in them. And my other tip with this one would be, now you're actually going to laugh at this, the photo of this was terrible. It was really bad quality, a little bit grainy, a little bit blurry, but I had faith that it was a good piece. And I think that's something that you might want to keep in mind with. Not all things, I'm sure, but if someone has listed it as only been worn a few times in really good condition, but the photos aren't great, that tells me that the person selling is selling it for a genuine reason, in the sense that they just want to get rid of it in their wardrobe, and not that they are a professional seller and are there to like kind of make a markup or a profit. They're literally just trying to sell to someone who's going to really appreciate the piece. And for me, if someone's got a bad picture, it means there might be a little bit more wiggle room for some haggling. If you see any trends or classic kind of items that come in again and again, season after season, like suede is always going to be in when it comes to autumn, but you don't want to invest in these, because I've been seeing blazers like this on the market for about £400, and this isn't real suede, so even if you go down the faux suede route, they're between £60 and £80, and that's absolutely fine. But if you want to maybe save your money for something else, or you're in budgeting, etc., you can absolutely still have those pieces but go into more of a pre-loved section. So my next tip would be try and find the hot topics and the hot trends that are circulating for that season pre-loved first, because that way you'll know if you actually do wear it a lot or not. And I absolutely loved this color of suede. It's much more of a warmer color. You can see it here. It's much more of a warmer, more like caramelly light butterscotch suede. And currently I'm wearing a lot of those like deeper, richer tones. So I really wasn't sure if this is something that I was going to be kind of like really in and styling. And this is an old Marks and Spencer's menswear one as well. So my next tip would be, don't be afraid to shop menswear on Vinted. A lot of these pieces are menswear. I think it goes with my style more, but the menswear I'm obsessed with, because I really adore a structured shoulder pads, but a lot of the time the menswear blazers have a bit of tapering in at the waist, so on a woman's figure it can actually end up being really flattering, but the quality is better, and they most of the time have real pockets as opposed to our faux pockets. So I absolutely adore this piece. I'm so happy I picked this one up. I definitely need to style this one up as well, which is why it's on the rail. You guys would have seen me talk about this one. I actually think this is from the same collection as the one I just showed you, the more caramel one. This is that classic kind of tan, chocolate, faux suede, cord look that I knew I was going to get a lot of use out of. I feel like this tone really suits my hair and my complexion. Again, this is like a vintage Marks and Spencer's piece that I absolutely love. And for me, the biggest tip would be, don't be afraid to stick to a budget. So set yourself a budget that is fair and right for the seller also, and that you're not insulting them in any way. And don't be afraid to haggle down. So a lot of the time when I'm approaching these buyers, I will message them first, kind of as a courtesy, and just ask, is this the set price, or would you be open to negotiations? And if they're open to negotiations, they'll tend to maybe give you maybe a 10% discount, and that's when you can start the haggling forth. And I always tend to go in at my like lowest and then slowly bring it up, because then that way both parties are super happy with the purchase. And a lot of the time you'll find, even if you go in at your lowest, a lot of people are just looking to have their clothes going to a good home. So again, sometimes I've been getting really good bargains, and I believe this one was, I mean, a lot of these are all under £10, and I've worn them so much already. They've been like my go-to. So for this one, absolutely do not be afraid to have a little bit of negotiation and do it in the most polite way possible. If someone has gone down their price for me, I will always reply back to say thank you so much for your generosity, and then leaving them a good like 5-star review, because that also goes a long way if you're a buyer. But this is almost like a taupey greige blazer, and this was so perfect between July, September time, where I needed something that was lightweight. I think this is like a linen cotton mix that I could wear to kind of transition in, and this is in mint perfect condition. So this, my tip for this one is if you've got something specific that you want in mind, or you need something to help you go through all the kind of, what's the word, the noise on the site, make sure you go over to the filter section, whether that's on Vinted, eBay, Vestaire, etc. They all tend to have the same kind of like filter process, and you can pick exactly what you're looking for. You can go by color. So if you've done your kind of seasonality chart and you know the colors that you enjoy, you can pick all the colors. So for me, I'm always looking for black, brown, cream, green, tan. Those are kind of my favorites. But you can also put in your size. So I put in my menswear size, which is always a 42 regular. So if you're a size 12 and you like to wear things oversized like me, I always go for a 42 regular menswear. But then I'll also put in like 12s and 14s and 16s in there. Especially if I'm wanting like a coat, I'll put the 16 for that. And then once you've done that as well, then you can put something, whether you want your budget. So you can pop your highest price and your lowest price in there. Try and give it as much detail as you can, because the detail is what makes sure that the app or the platform is giving you the pieces that you want to see. And for me, it also lets me, when I'm negotiating with buyers, I know my price is in the same price point, so it's not insulting. It's not as if I'm approaching someone for a £10 piece and they're trying to sell it for about £90. I feel like that wouldn't be a fair trade and a fair conversation for both parties. So use the filter process, because that will really help filter through the noise and give you a little bit more of a clear direction into what it is you're looking for. I think this is my favorite piece I have bought. This one and the Burberry for me are neck and neck, and I got this maybe at the end of summer. And I think this is my next tip. If you are looking for the biggest bargains and you want the like least amount of competition, try searching for the upcoming seasonal pieces a little bit earlier, where no one's going to be really looking for it. So right now, I would be looking at maybe end of winter things like your hats, your scarves, your mittens that you're going to be wanting to wear, or your thicker coats, because right now it's autumn. And you want to go like a season ahead, and then in winter I'm going to be looking for more spring, because you've got less competition and less people interested. So I bought this, like, it's a full-on wool knitted tweed jacket. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like one of my prized pieces. It's stunning on, and the way it fits on, it just so, it tailors in at the waist. It's a really lovely crafted piece. And I bought this kind of at the end of summer, just creeping into autumn. I think it was around September time. So I knew this wasn't going to be 100% on people's radars, which meant there was less competition, so I could see this piece first. And it also meant that I could kind of haggle away at a really good price. So that's my other tip, is to start looking for things ahead of the season. So that way you get the best bargains and you're not all trying to fight over the same pieces, because then the buyer has definitely way more power than you and they can put it at a price, and sometimes you can have a little bit of a bidding war situation, which is not what you want to be getting yourself into whatsoever. So always look for pieces in the next season, because I adore this so much. Like, the buttons alone are just so stunning. It's like rose buttons, and I know I'm going to be wearing this loads come November and December, so that's something you might just want to keep in mind too. Okay, I'm going to deliver the last couple of tips with one of my two little blazers. I keep saying everything's my favorite because I'm just so happy with them all. This one's a bit more of a sandy check, and I was inspired by my friend Chloe. Last time I met with her, she had on this gorgeous beigey check blazer from Under Their Stories, and I was like, oh, I'm quite inspired by that, but I don't want to get the same one, because at the minute I'm really trying to find like a very unique personal style. And I found this, and again, you know, you're buying it from Vinted, you're buying it pre-loved, so it's not a piece that everyone is going to have. And then this one you guys have seen before, and this, oh, the amount of compliments I get on this blazer, because it is by far the heaviest one, and the check of it is just so unusual. My tip for these would be, be a little bit lazy on the app. And what I mean by that is let the app do all the hard work. Well, after a while, you've been searching for your certain categories, the algorithm itself will start to slowly bring in to your fruition, into your kind of, it's almost like a For You page, all the pieces it thinks that you would like. So a lot of the pieces I love is in my recommendations page, and that is how I shop. Not so much anymore, I don't have to search for key items and keywords. I can actually shop through my recommendations alone because I've been so specific about what it is that I'm looking for that the app now serves it to me. And I will favorite all the things on my recommendations, and I'll take some time to really sit down, go through everything, reach the bottom of my recommendations, and then I'll go back onto my favorites folder. And there I can start really considering what it is that I may be looking for, what's missing in my wardrobe, the prices that they've set, and if this is within my budget. This way the app's doing all the hard work for you. I absolutely love using the recommendations page. So for me, that is a huge tip, is to just let the app do the hard work and go into the recommendations. I'm actually going to wear my Burberry jacket because I just feel like this needs a little Burberry moment. You've made it this far. This is your reward. That basically, when you are searching for a piece of an item, for instance, say if you are looking for, like a countryside blazer, quite similar to this, I will go by fabric composition rather than typing in country blazer, because you'll just get so many and it is so overwhelming. So for me, there'll be a couple of brands that I know that do really nice fabric, so I'll be thinking of wools, or I'll be thinking about cotton, and I will type in the brands in my head that deal with that. Oh, I think you cut off. It's my camera's basically telling me to be quiet. I wasn't the right bit, but basically I was talking about how the fabric composition and the brands associated with. So I will often put Harris Tweed blazer, Johnson's of Elgin blazer, or I'll put in House of Brewer blazer, and that, I know they all deal with country style jackets, but they deal with very premium ones, and they will give me the items that I am looking for in the fabric compositions, because they only ever design and make in those type of fabrics. And that is such a niche way of searching that you are only going to get the pieces that you look for, rather than typing in something a bit more vague like country style jacket, because then it's a little bit more difficult for you to find the pieces that you're looking for, because there's just too much that people could label it as. So try and be a little bit more niche when it comes to search. I hope you found this video really helpful, and I hope it's one of those that can just stay on my channel as an evergreen piece of content, because that is literally all of my tips and tricks that I could possibly think of when it comes to a little bit on wardrobe management. We can touch a little bit on that, as well as how I navigate the world of pre-loved shopping. It is a brand new thing for me, basically. I think I touched on it last year, but I really went into it this year. I've barely been taking anything new into my wardrobe. A lot of it has just been pre-loved pieces, because you're getting something as gorgeous as this Burberry blazer for £40, and when you've got bigger financial goals, like I know I really want to buy a house in the next year or so, you have to kind of adjust. But I really don't believe that you should have to sacrifice the things that you love, and fashion and styling and wardrobe is just something I absolutely love, and there's always ways around it. So I'm so glad I've gotten into that, and I'm really loving the clothes that have a bit of character to them, and then getting to tell people the story. I love telling people that I've got it pre-loved, how much I managed to haggle it down for, and the brand it's from, etc. I just think it's a really good conversational piece. But if you are new into buying secondhand pre-loved, or if you're a veteran and you've always done it, hopefully there's a tip in here that you've managed to take away, and if that you've enjoyed the more vlog relaxed style of these sit down chatty style videos, because I always don't want to just churn out the same type of content. I want to keep you guys as engaged as possible, so let me know if you prefer the more sitting down ones like this, or if you like a bit more of a vloggy style relaxed feel. But if you've got any questions on anything, let me know in the comments below. I will try and link my own personal Vinted page, as well as where I got those bags from Amazon, because they're so good for storing any of your clothing you're not going to be wearing in the next couple of seasons, because I just think there's no point having clothes in your wardrobe that's going to be sitting there. Oh, that's Evie, BRB. That was the postman at the door. He is so used to coming to mine with parcels. He knows the drills, he's so good. But I honestly thought to myself, I wonder if this is a Vinted piece, because that would be so funny, the timing of it as it arrives. But it is a good reminder for me to zip it and close the video. But again, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to chat with you guys over there. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have, and have an amazing week, and we will all chat soon. Bye.